The wind howled like a dying man's scream. We couldn't see. We couldn't breathe. The sand tore at our skin, burying warriors alive. And in the middle of that raging storm, I saw him. Agu, standing firm, eyes glowing like the storm itself, obeyed him. After the Nile, we marched toward the great desert. Some called it the land of death. Others called it a graveyard for kings who dared to cross it. Agu called it the path to our destiny. The Sahara was ruled by a warlord known as General Hamza, the Sandstorm. He commanded the Tuareg tribes, warriors who knew the desert like a mother knows her child. They could move unseen, strike like ghosts, then disappear into the dunes. They needed no walls, no castles. The desert itself was their fortress. We thought we were prepared. We were wrong. Before we even saw them, the desert attacked us. The heat blistered our skin. The wind whispered like spirits warning us to turn back. Water was scarce. Men collapsed, their bodies swallowed by the sand. Then the real enemy came. They struck at night, arrows from nowhere, warriors rising from the sand itself. They slit throats in silence, dragging men into the darkness. We fought shadows, never knowing where the next attack would come from. For the first time, I saw doubt in our warriors' eyes. Even Agu stood still, watching the sand shift like a living thing. And then he called the storm. He slammed his spear into the ground and the earth rumbled. The iron and the sand pulled together, forming a wall of sharp, twisting metal. He raised his hands and the sky answered. Thunder cracked. Lightning flashed. The desert itself trembled beneath his power. Then the wind changed. The storm that had blinded us turned. The sand swirled, rising in a great wave, but now it was no longer against us. It was against them. I heard the screams of the Tuareg warriors as their own storm swallowed them. When the wind settled, Hamza stood alone, sword drawn, his blue robes torn by the storm. He was a warrior, proud and fearless. He charged at Agu, moving like the wind itself. His blade met Agu's, and for a moment, it was like two storms colliding. But Agu was the greater force. With one strike, he shattered Hamza's blade. With another, he sent him to his knees. The warlord looked up, breathless. "You do not just command metal," he said. "You command the storm itself." Agu did not kill him. He did not enslave his people. Instead, he extended a hand. "Ride with me," he said. Not as a slave, not as a defeated man, but as a warrior of Agu. Hamza rose and bowed. "I follow the storm." And so, the desert became ours. But the world was vast, and greater battles lay ahead.